Is that the best you can do?
That is the best. The best in Florence. I assure you, when Count Sigismondo sees this portrait, he will be impatient for the wedding to take place at once.
Good. Good.
Father, it's cheating.
Cheating? That shouldn't worry a woman.
Let him see me as I am. Please.
Do you think he would marry you if Del Monte painted you as you are? Do you think anyone would marry you?
Any man would be lucky to marry a girl with as much charm as your daughter. Hippolyta, come and look at yourself. Does it please you?
It's beautiful. And it isn't me. I don't want you to send this picture.
I planned this marriage when you were 8 years old. A union between my family and the House of Cornaro will shake the Medici power to its foundations. Do you think I'd allow your vanity to upset that now? And Del Monte, I hold you responsible that no word of this is mentioned when you deliver the portrait.
Are her eyes really as blue as you painted them?
Her eyes are like an Italian sky in summer.
And her hair as fair?
Her hair is soft as starlight.
It's an unusual pose, her head turned a little away.
This is not a woman who stares arrogantly from the canvas. Despite her beauty, she is shy and sensitive. I wanted to capture that shyness.
Father, we must send for her at once.
Don't be less impetuous, my son. For a marriage of such importance, there are many preparations to be made.
Then make them, Father. This will be no marriage of convenience.
Still redrafting the map of Italy, Master Machiavelli?
One day, all these little states will be united under one prince.
Who will come, have no fear, from the House of Medici.
But not as long as Your Excellence allows his enemies to make alliances against him.
Enemies, alliances. Oh, this proposed marriage between Girolamo's daughter and that pimply Cornaro youth. Are you suggesting that that is an alliance against me?
That pimply youth has grown into a shrewd and ambitious young man. His marriage will unite two powerful families, both of whom are violently opposed to Your Excellence.
I know. If the marriage takes place.
Ah, then you've already anticipated this word of caution.
The girl has a scar on her face. It mars her beauty just as surely as the blight ravages a peach. That should be enough to discourage any suitor.
Apparently not. She left for Cornaro this morning. It would be better not to leave a matter of this nature to chance.
I never leave anything to chance. I have eyes. I have eyes even in Cornaro. I shall know soon enough if my intervention is necessary.
Of course, plays and pantomimes are a traditional part of the wedding festivities, but I give most of my attention to the fireworks. A childish byproduct of the invention of gunpowder, perhaps, but the principle is fascinating. To an amateur scientist like myself, these are wonderful times. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'll see that my orders regarding the display are properly carried out. Batista, how are the preparations for the entertainment?
If Count Sigismondo will be gracious enough to give me his approval of this costume.
Sigismondo, this is your affair. I shall confine my activities to science.
I planned a masque for the night before the wedding. We're going to perform the Judgment of Paris.
Oh, will you take part in it yourself?
Yes, as Paris. But instead of presenting the golden apple to Venus, I shall look into the audience and see my future bride. I shall come down to her, kneel before her, and place the prize in her lap.
Charming.
You think she will like that?
I think she should.
Sigismondo, the guests have arrived from Florence.
Then I must go and greet them.
No, I've asked her to come in here.
But, Father, I should greet her in public.
I think it best that you see her first in private.
Why have you made a fool of me?
I spoke nothing but the truth.
Her head was turned aside in shyness, you said.
But her hair is like starlight, and her eyes are as blue as an Italian sky in summer.
But her face? Tell me about her face, Marco.
Now you can see for yourself.
Why should I want to look at her?
If there was any ugliness in this room, it was not hers.
Please don't cry, my lady.
May we be alone, please? What did you expect, my lady?
I expected nothing. But I'm afraid I allowed myself to hope.
Count Sigismondo behaved like a spoilt child.
It wasn't his fault. We deceived him. And when he saw me, he was disappointed. But, Marco, I can't go back alone to my father. He's planned this for so many years.
I'm sorry that he couldn't have found some other way to exercise his hatred of the Medici.
Will you return with me to Florence and explain to him? Tell him I couldn't help this happening.
Perhaps it won't be necessary to return to Florence.
Count Sigismondo doesn't want me.
But you must understand that this is a marriage between two families. The feelings of the bride and the bridegroom are not considered important. If they were to ask you, even now, would you stay?
Without love?
Well, Count Sigismondo may grow up.
Perhaps. But until he does, I couldn't bear to see the revulsion in his eyes each time he looked at me. No, Marco, I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay.
A marriage with Girolama's daughter has advantages far beyond any consideration of her appearance. That marriage sanctified, de Medici will never again be able to interfere with the destiny of our family. Don't you understand? That but for his intervention at Rome, we should now be the Dukes of Perugia. Anything I can do to weaken his power, I intend to do. Is that clear?
I will do anything you say.
Go then and make your peace with Girolama's daughter.
May I see you alone?
No. Marco, I would prefer you to stay.
As you wish.
I had hoped to be allowed to apologize to you alone. But I realize now I don't deserve that privilege.
What happened is over. After today, we need never see each other again.
I hope to see you every day for the rest of my life.
Please, you are making fun of me.
No. I really mean it. When you left the room, a little sunlight went out of it.
Dare you talk to me like this?
I turned to Marco's portrait and saw that he had painted only the truth.
Look at me. Can you still say that?
Ippolita, however badly I behaved at our first meeting, I realize now how lucky I would be if you agreed to stay. Please say you forgive me.
If you want me, I'll stay.
Thank you.
Ippolita, don't let them hurt you again.
Oh, Marco, I know his father sent him to apologize. I know he meant none of the things he said. How could he? But he said them humbly and charmingly. And perhaps one day, he may even come to like me.
What is it this time, Battista?
I came to find out if you wished me to cancel all of the preparations for the wedding festival or only the mask.
Cancel nothing. Yet.
The arrangements that I have heard of, Your Excellence, are that there will be a month of festival and the wedding will take place on the 29th day. In my hearing, I heard the young Count's father admit that he looked on it as an alliance against your magnificence.
Then I shall have to intervene.
If it's not too late.
Battista here now, as always, will carry out any orders I care to give him.
Your Excellence is kind to remember the small services I have rendered him in the past.
It would be a pity to rely upon an assassination which could be traced back to Your Excellence.
True. Then let us seek some weakness which we may use to our advantage.
As Your Excellence has already remarked, there is the girl's scar.
Ah, but more than that, there is her desire to be loved. A tedious attitude, but in one so young it must surely be overwhelming. Long unloved by her father, she dreams of a romantic marriage.
And then she wakens, and as our young friend here so vividly described, she sees the look of horror on her bridegroom's face when they meet.
And it is this that we must make use of.
In conjunction, I think, with another weakness.
Oh?
You said, I believe, that the Count's father is interested in science.
He fancies himself quite learned on the subject, my lord. He has an almost childish enthusiasm for all things scientific.
Aha. Then we must find him, a scientist. There. You see, the device is really quite simple. The burning of the powder gives the wheel an impetus so that it continues to rotate even when the powder is consumed. Now, you can imagine the variations of this. Suppose, for example, that... What is it, Batista?
I've taken the liberty of inviting Signor Melozzo to help with the entertainment.
Well, what does he do?
He has the reputation of being one of the finest magicians in the country.
Oh, well, the magic will amuse the women. Now, as I was saying...
I'm afraid the young man has made a mistake. I'm not a magician. I'm a man of science. I regret that your valuable time has been taken up with such a misunderstanding.
Just a moment. Batista has apparently confused a scientist with a magician. Such a mistake is unpardonable.
Oh, the young man is probably not to blame. The peasants speak of me as a magician because they're ignorant of the true purpose of my experiments.
And what are their purposes, may I ask?
Increasing man's control over nature, naturally.
Oh, yes, yes, naturally.
I had, of course, heard of your great interest in science, my lord, and when the young man approached me, I naturally assumed that you had heard of me and wanted to discuss some of my experiments. I've even brought several of my machines.
You have? Well, I should be most interested to see them. Where are they?
In the antechamber, my lord.
Oh. Come, Marco, this could be worth seeing.
Here we are, my lord. An imposing array. To the uninitiated, I suppose.
To the uninitiated, of course.
Well, I must confess I don't exactly find myself in the presence of anything very mysterious.
Ah, Marco, that's where you're probably wrong, eh, Master Melozzo? What is the function of this one?
Perpetual motion. Once the machine is started, it's capable of continuing for an indefinite time.
In fact, forever.
If it isn't interfered with. At the moment, the study of perpetual motion is purely academic. Now, this machine, with your permission, my lord, this is the one that gave me my reputation for miracles amongst the peasants. It is capable of changing lead into gold.
What? But man has been trying to discover that secret for generations.
Oh, the machine is still in a crude state, of course, and the gold that it produces is inferior in quality, but I have a lot of work to do on it yet.
But already it produces gold.
Would you care to give us a demonstration of this machine?
Why not? Here I have a small piece of lead. I place it in this compartment, so. Now it's advisable to stand farther back. In a moment, the machine is likely to generate a considerable amount of heat. In the compartment is now gold.
If you care to examine it, my lord. It certainly appears to be. Look at it, Marco. I know you've worked in this metal.
It's gold, all right.
Honor me by keeping it as a souvenir, my lord.
But if you can produce gold at will, then...
I'm afraid it isn't quite as simple as that. The heat damages the machine when it's used, and it has to be reconstructed. But I hope in time to remedy that.
Signor Melozzo, it would please me if you would continue your experiments here in the palace. Whatever you need shall be provided.
It will be an honor to work under such enlightened patronage, my lord.
Am I disturbing you?
No.
Yet something is. Could it be what you see in the garden?
You think I was wrong to stay, don't you?
I think it was wrong if it makes you unhappy every time you see Count Sigismondo walking with another woman.
I'm jealous, Marco. I want to be as beautiful to him as they are.
Forgive me, my lady. The courier is leaving for Florence. He asked if you wish to send a message to your father.
The message my father is waiting for is news that I'm married.
He can take a message for me. I will go and give it to him myself. Excuse me.
You must be very happy, my lady.
Yes, very.
I don't wish to interfere, but as I came in just now, I couldn't help overhearing what you said. That you were jealous of the young lady down there in the garden.
Even in a marriage of convenience, a woman wants to be loved by her husband.
But this should present no difficulty.
No difficulty. With this,
Signorina, love is a matter of chemistry. The chemical elements in us respond to the elements in another person.
science can't take away this blemish.
It can make it unimportant.
How?
The chemistry of another person can be altered, regulated. The delicate balance of the humors can be adjusted. For example, the love potion.
Love potion. Such things exist only in storybooks.
I've made it my business to study such quaint beliefs, Signorina. It is my conclusion that most of the things I've read about have some foundation in truth.
Fairy tales can't come to life.
Don't be too certain, Signorina. I believe that I myself could mix the ingredients that would alter the chemistry of Count Sigismondo.
And make him love me?
I can promise nothing, Signorina. But if you wish me to try...
Oh, please. Please try.
Come then tomorrow to my laboratory and the potion will be ready. Till then, take heart. Oh, welcome to my sanctum, my lady.
It's like a prison cell.
I find it easier to work in such circumstances.
Has there been time to prepare the potion you promised me?
Oh, yes, there has, my dear.
What must I do with it?
Well, you must find an opportunity to put it into Count Sigismondo's drink, without his knowledge, of course. This evening, when the celebrations start, would probably be the best time.
Hippolyta, I've missed you.
I've been with Signor Malazzo. But now, if you want, we can walk for a while in the garden.
Oh, I'm afraid. Well, that is, with the festivities just beginning, I can't afford to idle in the garden, much as I'd love to. But I look forward to devoting my time to you this evening. The day will come when he will plead with you to go with him in the garden.
Oh, Marco, you won't have to sympathize with me anymore. After tonight, everything is going to be different.
Don't rely on a firework display to change Count Sigismondo too much.
Not a firework display, but he will change. Signor Malazzo has given me something. Things will all come right. You'll see.
Ah, they told me I'd find you here. Sandro! Well, he didn't waste much time in getting here. You said, would I come at once? I thought that meant at once. This is my good friend Sandro Manetti, the Signorina Ippolita. Honored to meet you, my lady.
You like it? Oh, beautiful. Now we'll wait for this next one. Ah, Signor Malazzo, come and join me.
Thank you, my lord.
They think it's magic, but we know.
Aye. Quite beautiful. It's wonderful, Sandro. Wonderful. Well, he made it very convincing. There was a big flash just before the lead was changed. A pinch of gunpowder fired by a flint mechanism would do then. What about this perpetual motion machine? Child's toy. A reasonably high mechanical efficiency. Friction would run it down in, say, half an hour. So everything's fake. This isn't. What have you got? Poison. Poison? What would Milazzo be doing with poison? Sandro, Ippolita mentioned that Milazzo had given her something. Now, I didn't connect it at the time, but she also said that Sigismondo's attitude towards her would change after tonight.
You mean that whatever it was Milazzo gave her has something to do with Sigismondo?
Wait a minute. Have you ever heard of love potions?
I've read about them.
Ippolita wants desperately to be loved by Sigismondo. Now, she was very impressed by Milazzo's talents as a scientist. If he offered to help her, she'd absolutely jump at the chance, no matter how far-fetched it might seem. I think that he may have convinced Ippolita that he has some elixir that will make Sigismondo love her. Now I know what I should have known sooner. Milazzo is a Medici agent.
What you know now that you should have known sooner isn't going to do us any good unless we can get out of here.
Marco, this gunpowder. I can blow the lock. Good.
Here. Oh, I'll get the torch.
Now stand back.
You ready?
He gave me something to put in Sigismondo's drink.
Well, where is it now?
In his cup. Why?
It's poison.
It's poisoned!
Batista!
What is the meaning of this?
You should be more careful in your choice of guests, my lord. These men are professional assassins sent by the Medici.
There's blood on it. Ippolita! Ippolita, what have they done to you?
Nothing.
You moved in front of me.
They tried to kill you.
Are you all right?
Yes.
You have been hurt.
It only grazed me. It will heal quickly. And this scar won't be seen.
Darling, I owe my life to you.
You don't owe me anything. I did it because I love you, not to place you in my debt.
I didn't know what love meant till this moment. Just give me time to prove that I too can love unselfishly and with all my heart.
I'll give you a lifetime.